Hey there, film fans! Welcome back to my channel. If you love movies and series as much as I do, hit that subscribe button and let's dive in. Enjoy the video. The movie starts with a bad woman named Bottom, and she rides her motorcycle. And the agents of the Battle of the Evil Link are chasing her to catch her, because she stole a very important map. But she is very professional in driving and can easily escape from them. And she reaches the secret cave of the evil under the ground. And in the cave, we meet 6 of the most dangerous evil in the world, or known as the 6 Evil Team. And we know that their leader is called Wild, and she goes to give the map to Wild to start planning the new operation they will carry out. And we know that they are planning to steal a magic stone found in China called the Stone of the Clouds. And we know that this stone is inside the souls of legendary animals. And the evil team will use this stone to increase their strength, and thus they will be able to control the whole world. And the next day, Wild reaches the place of the stone, which is located in a cave in China. But Wild notices that the cave is full of lizards, so he starts moving slowly until he reaches the stone. And when he sees it, he is amazed and stretches his hand to steal it. But then small creatures appear around him and attack him to kill him. And it turns out that these creatures are in the cave to guard the stone. But Wild manages to finish them all. And then he pulls the stone and gets out of the cave quickly. But he is surprised by the number of cave guards trying to stop him from stealing the stone. So Wild quickly runs away from them until he reaches his team's plane. And he gives them the stone and is very happy with the success of the mission. And as soon as the team takes the stone from him, they are surprised that he is expelled from the 6 evil teams. And they tell him that they were only using him to steal the stone from them. And then they throw him from above the plane. And in another place, we meet a 11-year-old boy named Gru. And we know that he has criminal tendencies from a long time ago and is very obsessed with the 6 evils. And he wants to join their team in any way, to the extent that when the teacher asks him what he wants to be when he grows up, he tells her that he wants to be an extreme evil. And of course, when his colleagues hear this, they keep laughing at him and mocking him. And he is a troublemaker because people mock his ambition. But their mockery of him gives him a greater motivation to achieve his ambition and become the most dangerous evil in the world. And at the end of the day, the student Gru comes out of school and finds creatures called minions waiting for him to return home. And we know that the minions are yellow creatures, or the only cell, and that they have existed for a long time, and their goal is to serve the evils. And we know that they serve the most famous evils in the world, but all their masters died until one day they met Gru by chance. And they knew that he was hoping to be an extreme evil. So they decided to live with him and serve him all his life until he achieved his goal. And on that day, Gru arrives with the minions to the cinema hall to watch a movie together. But Gru is not comfortable because there are many people in the place. So he cooperates with the minions and spreads a bad smell in the cinema hall. And he succeeds in not killing everyone in the cinema. And then he sits with the minions and watches the movie alone. And after they finish, they go to the ice cream shop, but they find the queue of waiting very crowded. So Gru uses his cheese gun and sprays cheese on all customers to scare them and get them out of the queue. And then Gru goes to eat ice cream in front of the people who are being trained in the gym to feed them. And when Gru arrives home, he is surprised by a message from the evil team. And they are surprised in this message that they agreed to do an interview with him to determine if he deserves to join their team or not. And they also tell him that they need an extreme evil with them instead of the Wild, so that their number is 6. And of course, Gru does not believe himself from the happiness, and he goes to tell his mother about this news. But of course, his mother does not believe and asks him to go out of her room. So Gru goes down to his secret basement, and he has a meeting with the minions and announces to them that the evil team agreed to do an interview with him. And of course, the minions are very happy and congratulate him. And at night, Gru goes to sleep early to prepare for the interview that he will do the next day. And the next day, Gru announces in the news that after 3 days, the Stone of the Towers will open at 12 at night and will grant the great power to the evil minions. And they will be the strongest evil on Earth. And they will be able to easily finish the battle between the evil minions. And therefore they will be controlled all over the world. And elsewhere we see Wild sitting in his secret basement. And he hears the news that Gru announced about him. So he gets angry and breaks the TV and does not believe that his team is angry with him after all they did for them. So he decides to take revenge on them in his way. And at the same time, Gru is getting ready to go to his interview. and it is clear that he is very excited. And when he leaves the house, he is surprised to see 3 of the minions, and their names are Bob, Kevin, and Stuart, who tell him that they are coming with the interview to support him. But Gru refuses to take them with him, and asks them to wait at home until he finishes the interview and returns to them. And then Gru leaves them and walks. But the 3 of them decide to walk behind him without feeling. And after a few minutes, Gru reaches the basement of the evil minions and discovers that the basement is under a tape store. So Gru goes to talk to the owner of the tape store alone and tells him the secret word to allow him to enter the secret basement. So the owner of the store showers him with an elevator and asks him to go inside. And suddenly, the elevator goes underground, and within seconds, Gru reaches the waiting room in the secret basement and finds that there are other people presenting for the interview, and then Gru is called to the secret basement. And when Gru enters the basement, he is very impressed, and he can't believe that he is standing in front of the most dangerous minions in the world. But the minions are shocked when they see him, because they think he is a big man. And she tells Gru that she will not be able to help him with them in the team, because he is young and does not have enough experience, and asks him to go back home. And at this moment, Gru feels very angry and is very upset that she was scolded by him, and notices the existence of the stone of the towers on the desk. So he gets an idea and steals the stone and runs quickly outside the secret basement, and tries to convince the evil minions to stop him. But they can't, because he is very fast. And we see that Wild is standing in front of the secret basement and is afraid of what happened. And he can't believe that Gru was able to deceive the most powerful evil in the world easily. And when he leaves the secret basement, he is surprised by the minions in front of him. So he quickly rides with them on a motorcycle and runs away from the place. But unfortunately, the evil ones determine their place and start their execution. And by mistake, Gru falls on the stone of the towers on the ground. So he asks one of the minions named Otto to take the stone and go back home until the evil ones are gone. And indeed, Otto takes the stone and runs away. And when he arrives at home, he has a meeting with the minions and tells them about the achievement he made today and is very proud of himself, and tells them that he stole the stone so that the evil team would be impressed by it and agree in their team. And then he asks Otto to give him the stone of the towers. So they give Otto a strange-looking tube. So Otto gets angry and asks him about the place of the tower stone. So Otto tells him that when he was on his way home, he saw a group of children celebrating Christmas with one of their friends. And one of the gifts was this tube. And when he saw it, he was very impressed by it. So he made a deal with the owner of Christmas and took the tube from him. And in return, he gave him the tower stone. And of course, when Gru hears this, he gets very angry and keeps cursing Otto and blames him for being stupid. And he will be destroyed in his future. And Gru goes out of the house to get the tower stone from the owner of Christmas. But on the way, he stops at the car of the Wild gang, and people come down from it and kidnap him. And luckily, Kevin sees him being kidnapped, so he quickly runs after the car to save him. But unfortunately, he doesn't catch up, and the next day, Gru is surprised when he finds himself at the secret headquarters of Wild, which is in the city of San Francisco, and he doesn't believe himself because he is standing in front of Wild. And then, Wild orders Gru to give him the tower stone. So Gru tells him that the stone was taken from him, but Wild doesn't believe him and tells his men to keep torturing him until he confesses where the stone was. And Gru is very scared and keeps begging him to have mercy, and swears to him that he doesn't know where the stone was. So Wild calls Kevin and tells him that he kidnapped Gru, and threatens him that he will finish him if he doesn't get the tower stone in 2 days. And of course, when Kevin hears this, he gets very angry and asks Otto to take the owner of Christmas to get the stone. And in a few minutes, Kevin arrives with the other minions at the owner's house and asks him to give them the tower stone. So he tells the boy to give the stone to his uncle. So Otto goes looking for the boy's uncle and sees him riding his motorcycle, and he is traveling outside the city. So Otto decides to go after him to take the tower stone from him. And for Kevin and the other minions, they decide to travel to the city of San Francisco to save their leader, Gru. And in a few minutes, they arrive at the airport and ask the employee to give them 3 tickets. But the employee refuses to give them the tickets because they didn't pay her fee. And here, Kevin and his friends get an idea. So they disguise as a group of pilots and ride the plane as if they are pilots and employees. And they fly the plane and finally manage to reach the city of San Francisco safely. And they start looking for Wild's secret base. And after a long search, they manage to reach the base. but they notice that the guards are everywhere. So they try to sneak in without the guards seeing them. But unfortunately, the guards see them. So the minions quickly run in the street until they reach the Chinese neighborhood. And unfortunately, the guards reach them and immediately fight with them. And in the meantime, we meet Kung Fu trainer. Her name is Xin. And we see her at her party. And she is treating one of her patients using the Chinese needle. And by chance, she sees something from the broken window that is running between the guards and the minions. So she gets emotional with the minions because they are small. And she attacks the guards and kills them with all her professionalism until they all surrender. And then she comes back to take her medicine. And she is surprised that the minions are coming after her and ask her to teach them kung fu skills because they are going to a strong battle with the bad guys. So she agrees to teach them. And on the other side, she reaches their house with a bad guys team that is growing, and she keeps looking for him everywhere, but she can't find him. And she knows that Gru is in San Francisco. So she moves there with her team to take the Brogue Stone from him. And we go back to Xin, and she is teaching the minions kung fu skills. And she is trying very hard with them because most of them are weak, and they never fought before. And the next morning, Wild is surprised when he discovers that his guards are leaving him. So he is very sad, and he feels that he is not a hero anymore. And then he goes to break the ropes that Gru was tied with, and he tells him that he decided to test him to see if he deserves to join the team or not. So Gru is very excited and agrees. And at this time, Otto reaches the man with the Brogue Stone and asks him to give him the stone. So this man agrees without hesitation because he thinks that he is a fake stone. And he also shows Otto that he is taking him to San Francisco. And we go back to Wild again, and he asks Gru to clean his swimming pool. And Gru is very scared because the swimming pool is full of germs, but he has to do his orders to pass the test. And by mistake, Gru will fall in the swimming pool, so Wild goes to help him clean and force him to stay in the swimming pool. So he quickly jumps into the swimming pool and saves Wild. And here, Wild is very affected by the situation he worked with, because he risked his life to save him. So he decides to help Gru realize his dream of being an extreme villain. And at the same time, Xin is training the minions, and we see that their level has improved a lot. And Xin is happy that she was able to make them professional fighters. And after many hours of training, Xin tells them that they are qualified to kill the most dangerous villains in the world. And at this time, Wild arrives with Gru to the bank to help him carry out the first robbery. And as soon as he enters the bank, Wild appears to be in a mental state. And at this time, everyone is gathering around him. So Wild gives the signal to Gru to start the operation. So quickly, Gru steals a secret safe key. And he opens this safe and steals the Mona Lisa from it. And Wild is very proud of him. And he tells him that he will be a great villain in the future. And at the same day at night, Xin arrives with the evil team to Wild's headquarters. And they keep looking for Gru everywhere, but they can't find him. So they get very angry and destroy his secret base. And when Wild arrives at the secret base, he finds it completely destroyed. So he is very shocked and feels sad and broken, because the team that he founded turned against them and could no longer control them. So he goes to Gru to sit next to him and tries to help him. And he shows them that they are making a team of villains only for them. And they call him the evil villain. So Wild gets angry and asks him to leave. And he understands that he is not waiting for anyone's mercy. So he annoys Gru with his words and leaves him and walks. And on the way, Gru is surprised to reach his foot, which he brought with him, the Stone of the Towers. So Gru is very happy that he was able to find the stone and tells him that he is proud of him. And he decides to go back to Wild to give him the stone. But he doesn't follow him because Xin arrives with the evil team and they steal the stone from him. And as soon as the hour comes at midnight, the stone is opened, and the souls of the legendary animals come out of it, and they enter the bodies of Bottom and her team. And at that time, each of them turns into a very strong legendary animal, and he continues to torture him and Gru and tie him up in a high place. But fortunately, Kevin, Stewart, and Bob reach them at this moment and prevent the evil team from hurting their leader. But at this moment, Bottom turns them into the 3 alien animals to lose their strength. But Kevin, Stewart, and Bob also do not give up. And they use their skills in the universe to deceive him. And they enter a violent fight with the evil team. And after a few moments, Wild reaches the evil team to save Gru. And he takes advantage of the fact that the evil team is busy fighting. So he quickly goes to free Gru. In the middle of the fight, the stone of the towers falls to the ground. So Gru quickly grabs it and turns Bottom and the rest of the evil team into a mouse, and makes them lose all their strength. And after a few minutes, the police arrive and arrest Bottom and her team. Wild is taken to the prison hospital because he was badly injured in the fight. And after a few days, Gru and the minions are in Wild's funeral, and Gru is very sad that he died. And he can't hold his tears. But he is surprised when he finds Wild hiding behind the trees and shouts at him to come and ride with the car. So Gru goes to ride with the car and asks him how he is still alive until now. Although the hospital said that he died as a result of his injury and burns from the 3rd degree, so Wild says that he is like his death to escape from the prison punishment, and he shows that they cooperate together and form the greatest evil team in the world. So Gru gets very excited and agrees without thinking. And the movie ends. If you liked the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow the Page Summary Movie Official at Facebook. And see you in the next summary. Bye.